All right, everyone, two different Nintendo stories we have to talk about right now, starting with Nintendo's next live event officially being revealed, and it's a big one because it's the first time that Nintendo Live will be coming to North America. However, we have to have a real in-depth discussion around what this event actually is, because there's a lot of mixed signals going around online in terms of where you should be setting your expectations for things. Then the big talking point for today's video has to do with Nintendo Switch Online and the newest update that is now live, and you can play a fan favorite game known as Pokemon Stadium today, and we need to discuss the release schedule for major updates when it comes to NSO content going forward, and get on the same page with the frequency that we will likely see these content updates roll out in the future. What's up, Nation? If it's your first time on the channel, make sure you join Sunbro Nation by subscribing below, hit the like button on this video if you enjoy it today, and make sure you turn on your bell notification icon so you're kept up to date with all the newest gaming news. Now, as I mentioned, guys, today we are discussing a couple different stories, and we have to first kick it off with Nintendo's latest live event that has now been revealed. This is the first time this particular type of convention or showcase, whatever you want to call it, will be taking place in North America, and it is known as Nintendo Live. However, this is a staple event that has happened in years past in Japan, and with that we have some telltale signs of what we should be expecting from this event when it comes to it being held in North America for the first time, because there is a lot of discussion on whether or not this is kind of Nintendo doing their own E3 happening online. Did they ditch E3 and skip their summer marketing plans here in the US because they actually had a larger plan forming in the background to roll some stuff out live in front of an audience and put together their own convention and reveal all of the next gen console there, let you have hands-on time with the console, and then let's reveal the entire launch lineup for the Nintendo Switch 2 or the successor to the Switch? And the reality is this is much more of a standard Nintendo convention type of showcase, where they show up at showcases like PAX East, where they're going to have a presence and a show floor and even some gaming tournaments set up, but it's not going to be the type of big sit down and watch every single major announcement happen live, and this is their replacement for directs going forward or something like that. It's actually very different than that. And to first get on the same page with exactly what's been announced and the details of everything that we know so far, let's quickly hop over to My Nintendo News and read through their detailed typed up article together. US Nintendo Live 2023 coming to Seattle this September. After initially debuting in Japan, a Nintendo Live event is coming to the US. Nintendo Live 2023 is a new way to experience the games and worlds of Nintendo with fun gameplay, live stage performances, exciting gaming tournaments, memorable photo ops, and more. Held in Seattle in September, the in-person event will celebrate Nintendo's unique entertainment on the Nintendo Switch system, inviting all members of the family to come together, play, and have fun. Fans of all ages can currently experience the unique games, characters, and worlds of Nintendo on Nintendo Switch, but we want to expand that scope with a new experience. With Nintendo Live 2023, we're giving attendees a chance to celebrate together with family, friends, and the broader Nintendo community in the spirit of fun and creating long-lasting memories, Nintendo of America President Doug Bowser. At Nintendo Live 2023 in Seattle, attendees will experience a wide variety of Nintendo game-inspired activities across a large-scale themed area. People of all ages and gaming experience are encouraged to attend, since the experience is designed with both families and fans in mind. Whether you are a lifelong Nintendo enthusiast who knows your likes from your Lakitus, or you're someone new to the world of Nintendo, everyone is invited to have fun. During the event, visitors will be able to celebrate the world of Nintendo, taking part in Nintendo Switch gameplay, enjoying live entertainment, cheering on high-energy gaming tournaments, and taking unforgettable photos with recognizable characters like Mario and Luigi, among many activities. More details about the event, including specific timing and how to attend, will be revealed in the future. For now, get excited for September. Nintendo Live 2023 will be pressing start soon. Now, if you go look at the website itself that is promoting this Nintendo Live event, there is a specific portion that does mention being able to play games, but they're either new to you games or familiar games on the Nintendo Switch lineup. So when it comes to having a bunch of brand new reveals and brand new releases, this is not the type of event to expect to see any of that participation at all. Is there the chance that this actually drops shortly after a Nintendo Direct presentation that will likely happen in the month of September? and they have a surprise demo or two on the show floor, I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility. And it's cool that Nintendo is spending additional dollars to put on live events like this in the North American region. It is close to their North American headquarters here, but I definitely think that it's a cool thing to see Nintendo continue to expand in multiple directions, like we're seeing them do with the success of the Mario Bros movie and also the Universal theme park that just opened in LA here in the US. There's a lot of good things happening when it comes to how Nintendo is spending their marketing dollars, and this is another event that is kind of that type of thing. I personally am not setting my expectations for anything big to be revealed here, and while I would love to go to as many conventions as I can this year, this is not one that will be on my radar for me to personally attend, as I just don't think that there will be really much to see from it. But if you are in the area, if you don't have to spend thousands of dollars to get there and book your plane tickets and hotels, and especially if you have kids who can enjoy the event, yeah, it might be a fun family activity you can go do, but don't get this wrapped up with Nintendo replacing their E3 summertime presentation with this September live event, because it's definitely its own separate thing from that, and I'm definitely not expecting to have anything in the way of major new announcements. If we do happen to know about new hardware at that point in time, and also the rest of 2023 Nintendo Switch game lineups from the most recent Nintendo Direct, I think it would be really cool to experience some of that stuff hands-on there, but I think that that's a long shot, and you definitely shouldn't go into this event expecting that kind of stuff to be there. Maybe a best case scenario will be that a Direct is actually featured during the event and you can live react with a local crowd. I think there's a lot of cool experiences to be had there, but that's really all this is at the end of the day. But I want to hear from you guys in the comments down below on this particular story, how you feel about Nintendo Live coming to the US. And due to this event happening in Japan before, are you like me and you kind of think that it's probably not going to be anything groundbreaking and revolutionary in terms of announcements? Or do you think that Nintendo is actually planning something broader here behind the scenes, and maybe this thought process around it being a small event is actually wrong? So regardless of which side of the fence you land on with this one, I want to hear from you on all things Nintendo Live 2023 in the comments down below. Now, the other story we're talking about today has to do with the newest Nintendo Switch Online update, which is now live for all players in true Nintendo fashion when they go to update their library of N64 games or numerous other titles that we have any kind of advance notice on. They typically say it launches on a particular date. In this case, it was April 12th, but it really goes live the day before because they are going off of Japan time with that announcement, meaning that late on the 11th is actually when we got the newest addition to NSO, which is Pokemon Stadium, available and playable through the N64 emulator right now on your Switch. You just have to go update the app and you will be able to hop in and experience this game. Of course, there's a lot of controversy with this particular title online due to the fact that Nintendo chose to leave out the transfer pack feature, and it's even a little bit of a slap in the face when you see their Nintendo of America post that reads the following: battle your way to the top of the championships or battle online with friends in Pokemon Stadium, now available on Nintendo Switch for Nintendo Switch Online plus expansion pack members. And you then see the box art that is included legitimately in the top left corner has a picture and says N64 transfer pack included, reminding you what this game was really based around back in the day. And yes, indeed, even in the about section of the game, there's various screenshots that all include transfer pack feature is not supported, and for the foreseeable future, unless Nintendo changes and enables some stuff down the line, it looks like we probably won't get this feature added in, meaning that when it comes to battling and all of those functions in this game, you will be utilizing rental Pokemon, just the initial ones that are on the cartridge, and there's no functionality of transferring in Game Boy Pokemon that you've collected through Red, Blue, or Yellow into this. I do think that the Pokemon games will still hit NSO in the future. I think they have to at some point in time, and hopefully that's not going to be some kind of a multi-year deal where we're waiting to see when and if those games get added in. But until they do, it looks like Nintendo is taking a hard stance that there's going to be no way to actually move any of those Pokemon that we might be able to catch on NSO one day over to this game, which is Pokemon Stadium. That said, you can still battle online against friends, and what I am most excited to hop into and spend multiple hours on is the mini games, because I have a ton of nostalgia for those. They are a lot of fun, and having a modern resolution on a classic N64 game like this with online play enabled and the mini games all intact, it's definitely one that I will be excited to hop back into. You can't argue that the mini games will get stale quickly after playing them over and over again, but that's exactly what I did as a kid, so I intend to at least hop back somewhat into it and give it a chance once again, just to scratch that nostalgia itch that I have to replay this game. But then when it comes to expecting frequency of updates from here around future NSO games being added into the service, I actually think you have to give Nintendo some credit for the month of March and April, because we did see between these 2 months so far just about every system that they have available on the service with some kind of new update, as we did have the Game Boy receive new games. We had the NES and SNES, although you could argue that Nintendo's not spending big dollars to get a lot of the classics that fans still want, likely due to high licensing fees that you would have to pay to get some of the more big name games that are missing from those content libraries. But we did of course get Metroid Fusion on Game Boy Advance in March, and then we were wondering about the cadence of N64 games and whether or not Nintendo would really go something like 3 months without updating it, because it had been since the end of January when GoldenEye launched into the service since we heard anything for new N64 games, and we do have this now officially live in the middle of April. And what I will definitely be watching closely to see from here is whether or not we would get some kind of surprise Game Boy Advance game or any other content library updates this month for that matter, because I'm very curious to see if Nintendo is going to be sticking to more of a alternating pattern from here on out, where we get one or the other but not both for the expansion pack, meaning we get an N64 game in certain months and then GBA games in other months, and it kind of sticks to that cadence, and then all the other consoles are just sliding puzzle pieces around each other. We should be getting some kind of Sega Genesis update, I would imagine, soon, because that's definitely one console that's been forgotten about lately. But I am okay at the end of the day with an alternating roadmap, as long as there's some consistency to it and they're giving us some of the bigger games that us Nintendo Switch gamers want to play sooner rather than later. I still think Nintendo's going to stick to a very slow drip feed update style schedule with the service, because they know they're in it for the long haul. NSO's likely rolling forward into the next gen console, and they're not going to front load everything. They want to have a reason for people to subscribe every year and stay subscribed and not cancel their memberships once they've played through all of the games that are on there. So I do think that we are kind of strapped into a ride of alternating, somewhat inconsistent updates, as you just have to expect with Nintendo nowadays. And of course, don't expect any kind of clear-cut communication from them on what their plans are with it. Just expect them to surprise announce it randomly, and if we're lucky, we will get a Game Boy Advance game this month, and maybe that kind of sets the precedent that we can indeed see months where both GBA and N64 get updated. Maybe we get some more love for NES, SNES, Game Boy, and hopefully Genesis gets thrown into that conversation as well. But I really want to hear from you guys at this point in the video, your personal thoughts and opinions on both the stories we talked about today. What do you think about Nintendo Live 2023 happening in North America, and where are your expectations set for this event? Do you think we're getting big announcements there, or do you think it's more of just a fan service local type of convention that Nintendo decided to bring here, and likely what it was in Japan will ultimately carry over to what it is here? Or do you think that this is actually some kind of big E3 level replacement for Nintendo with multiple new announcements? And definitely share with me how you're feeling about Nintendo Switch Online at this point in time, and if you're a paying subscriber, whether on the base tier or the expansion pack tier, let me know how happy you are with the service overall, what you'd like to see Nintendo do better, and most importantly, which games that are not announced right now are you most wanting to see hit the service in the future. So regardless of your thoughts and feelings on everything we talked about today, I do look forward to hearing from you all in the comments down below before you leave the video, as I do look forward to getting a back and forth conversation started with you all around these topics. Go watch yesterday's video next if you haven't already, which is on screen right now. Also make sure you like, subscribe, turn on your notification bell, and I will see you guys in the next video.